Hello and welcome back to the Great Patriotic War. This time we're back in our multiplayer duel, and uh, last time, if you missed it, we finished up the air turn. So that means we now have to go through the monstrosity of turn one for the Soviets on the ground. And the way I usually like to play is I like to go from north to south whenever possible. But as you'll see in later turns, if there is a pocket or something that needs immediate attention, um, strategically, I'll start there. But for turn one, it's easiest to go north to south, and left to right, more or less. So let's see if we can get this rifle division out. I don't know if we can. Let's see. Um, unclick that. Holy crap, we can. Incredible. Very good. All right, well, that's more than I thought I would get out of there. All right. That's my wakey wake alarm going off. In case, well, I've been covering the toolbar now, but it's 6 in the morning here, so don't think this guy is going to be able to get out because he doesn't have any strategic points because he's unready. Let's see. You are depleted, so you're just going to get deleted. So it doesn't really matter where we put him. And then this guy doesn't have enough movement points to walk over to the port to get evacuated. All right, so I guess they're all dead. Here we've got our Northwestern Front and the Northwestern Air Command. Both are pretty vital. We don't really want to lose them. Let's see what we can do here. Well, we know that these guys are probably going to have to pull guard duty, and that the Air Command itself. Okay, let's move this infantry brigade south. I don't know how far south, but let's stick them in these heavy woods, I guess, for now. I wish that was already fortified, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure I'm going to bother spending anything to fortify it. So now we can move the Northwestern Air Command up to this city. And we'll probably move the Northwestern Front into Pskov. Now, what we want to do is try to move everything off this peninsula and get them into the action. Guess this guy's still locked for whatever reason. Don't know why. Wow, that is 1 week rifle division. Holy cow. Oof. These things are just going to get absolutely blown up if they get into contact with the enemy. Jesus. What the hell did I leave in this? Oh my god, I left 70 planes in this airfield. Why did I do that? Oh boy, that's not good. Why would I have done that? I'm a fool. Let's stick this guy here as well. We're gonna have to find some commanders for this little group. I don't know where the hell our generals are at. I guess our generals are farther down than they were in our previous campaign because this thing is much different. This had been pushed further back by the time we were having to defend Pskov. And I think actually what Hugs is doing is more historical because I think Pskov is supposed to fall much earlier than it did on our turn. It fell really, really, really late for us. Oops. That was what I was doing last night, trying to get together the new patch out for our American Civil War game that I'm a umpire for in the Wargaming Club. Okay, so ideally what we're hoping for is that we can get a turn or two to get these ready again. So we're going to put all of these tank divisions on refit because we really need them back. But we do want to get them as far away from the action as possible. Now, that kind of does put that guy in the line of fire here, but I guess this guy was initially he was a reserve. Is this a clear hex? I guess that actually counts as a city hex. Okay. I don't have any planes in here, thank God. It's just Valmira. Why did I leave planes there? I'm such an idiot. Where can I link up my lines a little bit here? Guess you can go there. You can go up here. I mean, this is going to be the weakest front line in history. But just trying to start shoving things that direction, basically. These are all depleted. Soon to be deleted. So So let's try to get them behind the lines if we can. This is already a supply depot, so. Oh, shit. I just can't get this guy far enough back. And because he's depleted, he doesn't get strategic points. I mean, it is only 1,300 men at this point, so I guess I'm not too broken up if it gets broken up. But I'd like to try to save them. They're unfortunately going to be dead. Okay, so what we want is to have this depot be our headquarters area. Yes, we can't move our men much further north. These are all headquarter units. I mean, I really don't feel like they're going to offer us a whole lot in terms of combat power, so I'm tempted to just bring them further north. Because I suppose if we stacked a whole airborne division right here, so this is 3 brigades, so that's a division, and then this corps would be Division HQ. If we stack this here, I suppose that could work. And then they'll go back to an army, a nearby army. Right now he's going right to the front, which could work. Let's see who's commanding this front. Is it Kuznetsov? Kuznetsov is one of our better commanders, actually. I'm just trying to think of a way to give the illusion that we have any sort of defense. When in fact we do not. I don't like the idea of leaving a huge gap here in Latvia. But at the same time, we don't have anything to plug it. And we've got to get the defense of Pskov sorted out. Now, I forget if you can do city fort. I don't think you can here. No, you can't. So I think ideally what we want to do is to fortify this tile here. Either that or sit in Pskov with the units and have the depot be behind them. Maybe that's a better idea. So like we could have our depot back here. does mean that we'll have troops getting here without supply. Although, supply should be still coming in through this line into Daugavpilus. And maybe that could work. It's not something I tried in the last game. It's either that or fortify this hex. Fortify this hex and then put 2 rifle divisions into it. Stick them both on refit and hope that they get enough stuff. So I'm thinking, let's move this security division, sadly, to the front. Let's actually move this tank division. I think it's relatively healthy. Yeah, it's as healthy as it gets. Let's move this in front of here. And then let's fortify this. And then we'll try to give them to a commander that can competently handle both mechanized and infantry. I don't know who that's going to be. Don't know who that's going to be yet, but there must be someone. Golikov is not too bad. We could use him. Sabenikov is better at infantry, but shittier at mech. So let's give him to Golikov and this motorized corps here. So they'll go to the corps, and then the corps will go to the army. The army will go to the front. As all good things should happen. And they can't move very far for some friggin' reason. It's kind of obnoxious. But at least the corps could get back to the other side of Pskov. Okay, that's great. And then this, you can be on guard duty for that HQ. You're going to the Rifle Corps. Rifle Corps is going to, conveniently, this 27th Army. This 8th Motorized Corps needs to go to the 27th Army. And then 27th Army needs to go to Northwestern Front, which it does. Okay. Now, the 27th Army also has some weird stuff attached to it. I think originally the 27th Army was stationed in Riga or somewhere near there and got blasted out of there. And that's one of the reasons why it's so low on movement points. So now let's assign this to the mechanized corps that's right there, which is, what is it, the first mechanized? 12th mechanized. So we're going to assign that to the 12th mechanized. And this rifle corps also. Okay, so he's full. And they're all going back to the army. Alright, what does he have for support? Nothing. He does have a construction unit, which is good. I might actually be tempted to give him another one. Where is this mechanized division at? Okay, so that's one of the guys over there. We do kind of want them to swing. If we can get them to swing up through here, that would be great. These ones that are assigned to him. I'm not sure if they'll be able to, though. Did I screw myself here? Could I have just naval transported this guy? I think I could have. Shit. Oh well. Hopefully he doesn't notice that it's there. Oh yeah. Put that guy there on purpose. I was like, what the hell is he doing there? Alright, these border guards now. Is this a clear hex? Why is this guy sitting here? We don't know. Is that going to be in range of him? I think one of the hardest things about the Soviet first turn is it's such a struggle to go through the air turn, only to go through your ground turn and then realize how many mistakes you made. That is clear. So it combines, they're kind of like a real armored division. I'm a real armored division. But not really. What's really lacking in this area is any sort of infantry presence. I definitely want to keep this area fortified if we can. Build some fort levels. Because it'll just be a pain in the ass to get through. And I think in advance here, I'm going to start building some fort units. I'm not sure this turn, but I would really like to fortify some line here. I mean, this would be very convenient to fortify here. To at least have fort levels built up and immediately just start bringing down troops in from Leningrad into that area. It's so ugly. It's so ugly. Leaving these huge ass gaps. I mean, I know exactly what's going to happen to each one of these, but I feel like there's no other option. Like, what are you supposed to do? Just clump up and let them encircle huge units? I don't know. I'm going to try to follow a doctrine of mostly staying spread out like this until our lines get a little shorter up here. You know, once we get into the northern part of Pskov Oblast and into Leningrad, I think the lines will be shorter, so we can block up every tile. So we would need to block off every tile by doing. So this would be a armored area. That's our only clear hex. Then you got a bunch of woods areas. And that counts as woods, swamp. So ideally our shape would be kind of like this. So fortify this, and we could keep this air base maybe. Keep using it till the last second. So kind of follow that river line down like that. Across. So our armored units would all come over to this area. Could work. It's definitely a lot to pull off, though. All right, let's give you guys to something down here. Something under the 8th Army. Kirkin. Kirkin's not too bad for a Soviet. We'll give him to Kirkin. Oh, jeez. I forgot what. Third mechanized. And then third mechanized is going to go to the 8th Army. And 8th Army is still going up to the Northwestern front. Okay, so this Rifle Corps. What are we going to do with you? Guess we'll stick them here. And thinking of deleting that depot. All right, what do we have here? Oh, there's a mechanized division. That could be useful. That's nice. It gives him river protection on 3 sides. And would force them to come down through this kind of nasty woodsy hex. Definitely would eat up more of their movement. Which is definitely what we want to do if we can. Okay, this guy's not even worth keeping in the fight. He's just wiped out. So let's get him off map. Same with this. Just get him out of here. I don't think I can do that with this guy. Oh. I can. Alright. One less guy to get deleted by the enemy, at least. This is only 31 men, so who really cares? But, what the hell? Maybe I can send them to the northern front eventually. I would like to keep these anti-tank guys on the line. Just in case the tanks decide to come down. Guess I'll stick them in the woods. They're technically ready, so not ready to get their asses beat by a bunch of German tank divisions, but ready enough, I guess. Alright, these are going to come off the map. This guy's whole command got destroyed, basically. His whole army. His whole corps. Oh, I'm looking forward to the reorg. I forgot how annoying it is to have all these corps lying around. I mean, I'm not looking forward to the turns where we're actually doing the reorg, but once it gets reorganized, it is better. It is much easier to manage when you have, army front kind of setup instead of this disaster. The 11th Army will be out of supply if I go up there, right? Yes. Alright. I'm curious to see how much supply is actually here. 18. How much is needed by the 11th Army? 12. Okay, so they'll have enough supply here. So let's put this one down to 2. And then we'll stick a new depot here. This is just going to be a temporary one to try to build up just a small amount of supply. And then I'm probably going to give a bunch of stuff to these guys here. But let's continue the evacuation. Let me guess. Yes, of course. I mean, it's only 1,300 men. Is it even worth it? Wait. Does it let me? Oh. It let me. It's on the rail. I didn't even see that. Okay. Can we get this guy further back? No. Alright, whatever. We'll leave him there. Be amazing if we could reconstitute these two divisions here if they don't get hit. Odds are pretty low of that happening, but alright, well, we made it through Yellow Army. That's good. And now what we have left is to try to plug some of these holes with whatever the hell we have up here. I would really like to make this a fortified hex too. And we'll make it a depot. And we'll give him to that rifle corps there. He should be just in range of it, I would think. Yep. He was 5 away. And the command range is 6 for a corps. I have such nightmares about this little region here. I hated it when we played it last time. Because I like, if you remember, I don't know if anyone was watching back then, but I tried to defend in this area around this little lake here, and it did not go well. So I don't think I'll even bother with it this time. What I will try to do is to make it back here with a couple divisions. I mean, this guy's really just on the retreat, so. Because I do want to give a little bit more strength than I did last time to the northern front, so I don't have to bring in extra reinforcements, hopefully. But yeah, I remember the defense of these 2 lakes here was literally impossible. It doesn't look a lot better this time, but. Alright, who can we give you to? The 29th Rifle Corps? How about that? Nice. Okay, so this is already fortified, so I'd love it if I could find a unit that's in range of it that I could give it to. How bad off is this 22nd Rifles? Oh, okay, he's got room for this fortified thing. Of course, by the time the Nazis get there, it's probably going to be turn 3, realistically. Unless he beelines straight for it. So this thing will probably have to go to an army at that point, but that's okay. Okay, so Luga is going to be our rear depot. And we're also going to give it an extra AA, I think. Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe we'll do that later on. We will give him an extra something here. Does the Western Front really need that many? Probably not. We'll give him one of the shittier ones. And what we want to do is expand this airbase. I didn't try this. I haven't tried this at all in our other campaign. I don't know how long that takes to go from a size 2 to a size 3. I probably should have checked that before I clicked it, but we're going to learn while doing. So this Luga airbase will become our new best friend. Where is the Luga army? Where do they start? It's going to be one of our special Luga divisions. Luga defensive. All right. Now we do need to start thinking about our other defense because this area here is going to be a pain in the ass to set up. And we know we have some Omega strong units in this Minsk area. God, it always makes me sad to even look at the pocket. Let's see. We'll build up somewhat of a defensive line here. We're not going to be making any real effort to break out. We're going to get a nice dense little pocket that's going to be a pain in the ass to hit. And more likely than not, he will just ignore it. And we'll actually do 2 sub pockets, probably like a northern pocket and a southern pocket. That's a clear hex, right? Oh, yeah, it is. Beautiful. Okay, let's take the brigade here. Nice. Exactly the opposite of what I wanted to happen. Whatever. It's a clear hex. I guess there's not really too much more mechanized down here, so doesn't really matter what I put on the clear hex. I guess there's a couple divisions. Just try to link up and make a slightly stronger line. Move both of them here. Don't really have much to put on the northern side of this, but that's okay. If they come in from the north, that's actually good for us. It means that they're reassigning units that could have been pushing north towards having to bust our pocket up, which is what we want for sure. Give him over here. Stack him there. This is looking very dense, but very weak. So there's definitely a lot of mass here. But it's just not very strong mass. Cool. So that densifies the pocket, makes it more defensive. Is that Das Reich there? Yeah, it is. Das Reich. One of the most famous German divisions. I know we talked a lot about them in our AI playthrough, but we ran into Das Reich, I think over here somewhere. I want to say in like Babruysk. Like we tried to defend against them, and they just absolutely obliterated like 3 divisions. That was an eye opener, as I'm sure the real Das Reich was for for the real Soviets. I'm sure it was an eye opener. Well, in general, I think we've actually done some good work this morning. Uh, the shape of this front line, not the best, but with our limited movement points, it was all I could do. So fully expecting multiple breakthroughs here, but it's going to make him have to choose his spots because he's going to have to commit more movement points to going around one of these guys. And even if I lose 1 or 2 of them and have a bad breakthrough, I do have a little bit of a reserve. Not a huge reserve, but something behind them. So it is a little bit of defense in depth. And if they decide to just try to punch right through this way, that's where the reserve is the closest. So they'll have to spend the most movement points to get through that and cross that river. What I think will probably happen is they'll just go right up through the middle here. And I wish I could stick another 4 divisions on these 2 tiles here. I just don't have 4 divisions to stick there. I don't know what to do. There's only so much I can bring down in one turn. I think I screwed up by not immediately naval transporting this guy, but I guess it is what it is. Hate to see it. But next time on the multiplayer term, next time is going to be tonight. I'm going to try to finish this turn out so I can send it back. Next time we'll probably be able to go through the rest of the Western Front that's not in the pocket, and then we'll focus on doing the Southwestern Front and the Southern Front. The Southern Front is usually the easiest to do, or it was against the AI. It was pretty simple because there's not a lot of troops down there. And you are just going against Romanians, so who gives a damn, right? But down in here, we want to try to break out mountain divisions if we can. Not sure how feasible that is because he did send his tank army. His panzer group went south instead of straight at us. So that could slow the advance to Kiev because look how far he is from Kiev compared to the AI. The AI went much, much deeper. Pretty sure the AI made it to Lvov on the first time, but their line was further out, like all the way to this river here. Don't know what that river is called. I cannot. Styx? Is it the river Styx? Oh my god. But I think they were all the way up to this river and had taken all of these airports. And then the next term, they broke through up to the next river. And meanwhile, broke out into this area here. Because by turn 3, they were at Viniesta. Like, they're here. And so that's actually where we're going to plan to make some sort of defense. All of these guys are going to get pulled back towards Kiev. And hopefully reconstituted into something that's useful. In terms of this pocket, though, there's going to be a lot of finagling to get it. I think it's possible to get stuff out because I think we can knock this security division back sufficiently. Not sure what type of division this is right here. This can be our last. It's another security division. So we would have to knock out 2 security divisions and a little bit more. And you're going through the worst terrain. So, like, this is a very well designed pocket. If we were breaking through here, it would actually have been much easier. But because he did bring his tank divisions really far down, this potential for a breakout is pretty low. We'll put it that way. And so plan B is to just huddle up for warmth as the cold, icy grip of death grips that little pocket. But next time, we are definitely going to have to spend a lot of time picking and choosing where we want our rear forts to be. So once he makes it to Dnieper, are we going to fortify it? I don't think we have the number of troops necessary to hold that entire river line. So I think we're probably going to hold for something further back near Bryansk and just run away as much as we can. I don't know if we can retreat in good order though, and that's going to be the struggle. So, and then at the end of next turn, we're going to spend whatever we don't spend on fortification and depots on, which probably isn't going to be too much, but I think there's a couple things we might be able to build. Some of maybe. So what is in the anti-tank battalion? This is the 45 millimeter 37 M37 gun. We do have a lot of those, so we could build whatever we have left. We could build one of those. We don't have a ton of these 85 millimeter guns lying around. Only 697 of them left, and we've got a lot of reinforcing to do. So I think last time I actually built some of those, and I really wish I hadn't later on, because it delayed getting these guns back to the front line. And I really want these guns, as many of them as I can get, because this is actually a really nice gun. But you can see here versus men in armor, it's extremely good. It's when I did my video, somebody actually commented that this KS-12 should actually be S tier anti-tank gun, and compared to some of the other guns we have available to us, like the 45 millimeter M37 gun, you can see the stats are basically double. So it is a lot better. But we got a lot more of these. So I'm willing to spend whatever we have left on building one of those. We will build a few machine guns. We got a bunch of machine guns in the pool, so. Oh, the machine gun battalions actually have M37. They get 18 of them. What the hell? How does a machine gun battalion get more anti-tank guns than an anti-tank battalion? That makes no sense. And this one's free. That is ridiculous. I never knew that. So we'll be building some machine gun battalions instead of anti-tank gun battalions, because apparently they've got more anti-tank in them. But till next time, have a good day.